All right, what's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things comic books. Woohoo! You were a little early there.
A little early.
I did what I did.
I
know what I
when
did.
he did it.
No mistakes were made.
No mistakes.
No
There's
mistakes.
never a mistake
No,
made.
no regrets.
Juan.
Well, welcome, guys. We have a special episode today because
Few things to talk about.
Yeah, well, last week
few.
we had our DCU update episode part 1.
It's part
because
one.
so much DC news has been dropping over
sir.
and over
Yes,
and
sir.
over.
Yes, sir.
We couldn't fit it into one episode.
There was a lot of theorizing on that last one.
There
and
was.
Now we get to dig a little bit
We were wrong
deeper.
about all of it.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, we were pretty close.
No,
we
I know.
weren't.
I mean, we weren't.
Joke.
How dare you? We're always right. They steal from
true.
us.
Yeah,
true.
whenever it's different, it's because they're
You know.
afraid. They're afraid that we're going to realize they're taking from us.
Pivot. Oh, wait. What's the Legion saying? Wait. Wait. Oh.
Yep.
We need to listen to them.
Did you know that at the end of each of James Gunn's script, it says #Stay Legion?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's still not sticking.
We're gonna
we
go
talked
with
about
no.
this last time.
Gonna go with
We
no on
talked
that
about
one.
this last time.
All right,
That's
well,
a no for me, dog.
No.
It's-
All right.
It's
Well,
it's a pass.
one of these days,
Hard
you guys are
pass.
going to get on the train
The Legion train.
to Stay Legion Town.
See, I would get on a hashtag of Legion train before I would get on a hashtag of Stay Legion.
Stay Legion. All right.
Legion train.
We're going to talk about the second half of this, which is, you said it was theories. It was theories last week. This week is a lot more concrete because James
You know what I mean?
Gunn,
It's kind of a lot more concrete. It's still not that concrete.
You guys should just give us your money. Oh wait, that's not how you say it. Dang it. Oh, we have a Patreon.
your money may or may not go to just buying energy drinks to keep us
True.
moving.
It doesn't go to any energy drinks.
It does.
No.
What?
I definitely bought some with
With
our
Legion
funds.
money?
Probably.
Greg and Brett are just managing our money
Yeah,
and
they are.
business. Logan and I are just
don't
there
know.
like, we're here to
Listen,
yell at
I'm
things
here-
and talk about comics.
I'm here
Are
to just
you-
have a good time,
Are
man.
you adequately energized?
I am now adequately energized.
Then stop
yes.
complaining.
Then stop complaining.
All right, so guys, if you guys like this kind of stuff, if you guys like to listen to comic news, comic reviews,
Search yourself.
everything comics,
You
I
know
mean,
it to
we
be
all
true.
do.
Deep
If
in
you
your soul.
like it, go down to the description below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, all those buttons down there.
Just
and
hit
then
every
click
button
those
that's in front of
links.
you. Every button that's in front of you.
Yeah, those links take us to all kinds of places where you can
Yep.
support us. One of those being our store. We can get sweet merch like that and sweet merch like this. So go there and help us buy energy drinks to stay alive and kicking and talking about comics. Because there's a lot of stuff going on, man.
A lot.
A lot. It's a
lot.
good day
A
to
lot.
be alive as a comic book fan.
True.
It is. It always is.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Always has been.
well, here's the deal.
Always will be.
We always talk about how much Marvel drops. Here's the, you know what? This was like, hit me. Marvel.
You just asked us to hit you?
Now, he already did that.
It's
Get it?
my turn.
Get on Patreon if you want to see Logan hit me in the face.
Check it out.
Yeah, we painted him green. It happened. No,
Worth it.
every time we've talked about like DC tries to do something and then Marvel like drops this crazy thing.
That's
right.
right. That's right. It was always the like DC tease it up
Yeah,
a little
trying
bit, and
to-
then Marvel's like, nope,
Slam dunk.
stay away, stay down.
Stop it.
Right. Well, Wednesday, February 1st,
Yeah.
was Black Panther: Wakanda Forever released on Disney
Yes,
Plus.
it was.
But
Yes,
it was also James Gunn released everything about DC.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like DC's coming in, man, and trying to
He's-
drop
he's
stuff.
taking a
He's
play
taking it,
out
yeah.
of the playbook.
Yep.
Right. So
He's
it's
a
like
snickety snack.
Snickety snake.
when I was going on the internets, right?
Internets.
There were many more articles about DC than there were about Wakanda Forever.
It's true.
Man, surprising.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at like social medias, it was all
Yeah, it
what
was all
James Gunn was
DC.
talking about.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
But to be honest, though, how many of us like have been like, "Oh my word, this movie's coming out on Disney Plus"?
No, true, but this is a big
No,
drop
it's
for Marvel.
hey, you know what? It's taking
And-
a sliver from them. You
Yeah.
know,
it's taken a little bit of
You're doing
wind
stuff.
out of their sails.
it's a little thorn in the
Yep,
side.
yep. Just
Yeah.
just a little.
All right. Well, James Gunn dropped a whole bunch of things about his first chapter of the DC new extended universe, and he's calling it Gods and Monsters, which is pretty sweet.
It's a
and
good start.
He's really jumping into
Good name.
the Gods and Monsters of it all. So what we're going to
Yes.
do in this video is we are going to break down each announcement that James Gunn has said, I'm going to just kind of throw it out. Harry and Logan are our resident DC experts, so we're going to throw those out, talk about each one just for a little bit. You guys put in the comments down below stuff that you thought was cool about the announcements, stuff that you want if you have questions about it, put them down there. We'll find the answers.
We'd be happy to
them.
answer any of them.
Yeah.
Happy to.
Interact with us in this. So that helps the almighty algorithm. It helps our channel. And it's fun for you guys too. We put some, we respond.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about the different things. So
Caveat.
Yeah.
Harry, so you're going to get two perspectives here.
Yep.
Harry knows what has been dropped. I
Right.
intentionally have stayed away from stuff to get a pure reaction. So you're going to get either rage or joy or nothing.
Yeah.
Out of each of these.
Your joy is actually very similar to your rage, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it teeters a line. A fine line.
It's a fine line.
Fine line between that rage and joy,
Yeah.
right there.
All right, so one thing that James Gunn mentioned, but whilst he was kind of dropping all these things, is that he is going for consistency when it comes to character portrayals. And he mentioned this.
Ooh.
He mentioned this earlier before he kind of dropped all these things, that he wanted to tie together not only the live action movies,
Yes.
but also the live action television shows,
Yes.
the animated shows,
Yes.
and the video games.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Which we spoke about last time, and we
Yeah.
are very much in favor
Yes.
of this, because anytime where you see one of you named like 4 areas, one of those
Right.
4 areas fall out of line, basically you feel like it's disjointed. You feel like
Yeah.
you can't continue a story that you'd like to hear potentially more about. We'd love to see like something that happens in the movies, then more of that story get developed or picked up or expanded upon in one of those other areas, like
Right.
a video game, like a TV show, like an animated series.
Right, and we're seeing that we've seen that in Marvel, where they're taking the Disney Plus TV shows and connecting them
Yes.
direct to the movies.
Yes.
But Gunn wants to take it a step further, and he
Now
wants to connect it to the video games and the cartoons as well.
Now, what's interesting is when we talked about this initially, the 3 of us said that the way that Marvel was doing the TV shows initially,
Yes.
to start, you didn't have to watch the TV show to be able to still know what was going on in the movie.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's all
now it's all connected.
Which is cool. I like that.
I think they roped you in. I
They
think
did.
what they did was they started slow with it, and then once they started getting people hooked on the shows, then they were able to incorporate more of the larger storyline into what was happening in the movies and the shows, and then they could rely more on the show to be able to carry
Right.
some more of the storyline.
What's nice about DC is that foundation has already been
They're
built.
doing it right from the beginning.
Well,
They're going to do it right from
fans
the
are
beginning.
expecting it
Yeah, well,
because
yeah.
Marvel has
Yeah.
primed them. So DC's taking advantage of that and just jumping right in.
Well, and the unique thing is with TV shows, the CW's
Yeah.
TV shows and DC shows actually lays a good foundation for
Yeah,
it.
they're
Not
not bad.
because they're going to continue with stuff from that. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But people really liked the DC TV shows.
Yeah, the fan base
And
already.
because of that, they're going to have people who expect strong television shows without a huge budget too, because they were not
Right.
they were not
No,
massive
they weren't.
budgets to
No.
start.
No, and they worked well within their budget. But
Yes.
so there's one very unique thing that Gunn is doing, and I want to get your guys' opinion on
One?
it. Well, I mean, in regards to what I just said about the
Okay.
interconnectivity
Tell
of
me
those
more.
different things. So I want to get you guys' opinion about this. So he's going to such an extreme of this interconnectivity that he wants to keep the consistency of the actors throughout all the mediums, which means the guy who plays Batman in the movie will also play Batman if he's in a TV show, will also voice Batman if he's in an animated show, and will also voice Batman if he's in a video game
So
Heavy is the head. Holds the crown with that one.
of that Batman. Yeah. Well,
Holy crap.
but everybody. So in other words, when he announced some animated shows as well as he announced every gamut except for video games in this drop.
Is it Gambit? I was-
But like his thing is that it's seamless, the transition. So the characters that are in the animated show are the same characters that are in the movies, and they're all connected. It's just that this is one medium telling a story about Superman, and then this is another medium telling a story about Superman. So that, like, what do you guys think about taking a screen actor and having him do voice acting?
I love it.
Yeah.
Here's the logistical challenge.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, there's a lot of freaking logistical challenges.
Well, no, but the main
thinking?
one is basically you would need to sign somebody on with that for such a long period of time
Yes.
at the very start and have them be fully committed to that. The reason I say that is, so when you think about some of the actors who initially signed on, best example that I have is probably Chris Hemsworth, right?
Right.
So Hemsworth.
Hit him with the L.
Yeah, hit him with the L.
He did hit an L in that last movie.
So he did. That's why it stuck in my head.
I'll give you that one.
My man. The issue is he became very popular very fast.
Yes.
He then wanted to be able to do more films, and branch out. He wanted to branch out.
Oh, you mean outside of the Marvel universe?
Outside of the Marvel universe.
Sure.
So what's going to be the issue here is if you strike somebody. Well, because here's going to be my assumption. You have to sign somebody who is not well known from the start. Because if they are well known, they're probably already wanting to branch out to do other things. They
are already
not going to be able
things.
to or are involved and are not going to be able to commit to the extent that he is expecting somebody. This is going to have to be the entirety of what they do.
There's talks about it being like 8-picture deals kind of thing.
Right, but I'm not just talking
unreal.
I'm not just talking 8-picture deals.
Well, no, but 8-picture as in like 3 movies, 2 video games, a cartoon, and a TV show.
I hear that.
Like,
I hear that.
Nuts.
But people, this is the thing that it's especially impactful for younger actors. But people age, like
100%.
People age,
100%.
which means you're going to have to do these things very quickly.
Yeah,
you're going to have to pump them out, which means I finish production on a movie, I'm going right into production on a TV show. I'm going right into my voice acting at the same time. I'm going to be doing work on a video game where they do motion capture on me right after that.
Yeah,
and
these
then
people are
I'm
going to be
going
doing
right
a lot of
into
drugs.
the next movie.
Did you see a lot of drugs?
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue. That's the concern I have because not many people are going to be willing to just commit to that right out the gate.
I think the biggest thing too with that is that's a good point, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that we all know that James Gunn announced that they're going to be doing younger people, younger things, newer.
And that's probably why
origin things. And I understand
They
that
have to.
They have to. So that means that he just locked in 100%. If this is actually, what did you call it?
What?
That whole process of them keeping the same person.
He just his interconnectivity of
interconnectivity. Okay, so we'll call it the interconnectivity. If he actually stands by that, 100% tried and true for every single character that's coming up, besides maybe a few. Like if Lex Luthor is Dave Bautista or whatever, I know, but I mean,
still,
just use it as.
I'm just saying as an example.
Well, it was a rumor.
Yeah,
that
It's a terrible.
Anyway, all that to say, I'm saying, all that to say is what I'm saying is, I feel like they're going to be shooting themselves in 2 feet because they're going to pay these people this much money to do this, right? And then they're saying they need that consistency throughout the whole entire DCU, which means the whole entire video game, all the video games, all the movies, all the TV shows, all the voice acting. They all need to pay him or her or whoever that much money. And for each and every single time they sign a contract, is it going to be everything is this much money throughout the whole entire universe of however it's going to go?
That's why they get new people.
But if they get new people, but then those people explode and they say, I want more money. And you sign a contract, it's like, okay, contracts are great, but people have no problem leaving contracts and paying that money back because someone else wants to take them.
Or
being ticked off.
So how consistent can you really be unless you literally enslave people?
Here is the one thing I will say with that. Here's the person who broke the bank on this was Robert Downey Jr. Since they started building in essentially what you would consider performance-based metrics into contracts, people have been more inclined to do those sorts of things. So instead of saying you, Harry, are going to make $20 million on this film, they are now saying Harry, you're going to make this as a $4 million as a base salary,
right? And
but you are going to make X% of the box office.
Right.
I think that's the way to go.
Definitely.
Because that is going to then make people want to be locked in, and they are going to be okay with then saying, okay, the better I do, the more people that I draw in, the more I make.
Yeah.
And
that's
a win-win.
Yeah.
That's a win-win for the studio. That's a win for the actor. That is the only way I can see this work.
Yeah.
What I will also say is this isn't unheard of to kind of bubble a group of actors.
Sure.
Best example, Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
I mean, they filmed that over.
It's only 3 movies though.
I know it was only 3 movies, but I mean, we're talking.
But they could, you could bubble
epics.
them in and
we're talking epics, okay? And they were filmed over several years, okay?
Yeah. It was like
it
2
would
or 3
have
years.
to be similar to that idea, where essentially this is all you're doing, for this period of time.
Now, I will say that one thing that makes it more reasonable is that it would be relatively easy to really only have a handful that are going to be that dedicated. Like you have the Trinity.
I don't know.
The rest of them are kind of like they're like a king shark.
You might be right.
A king shark is going to do maybe a movie and a video game.
Yeah, so you're talking
like 2.
You're talking the Trinity.
You've got your mainstays that are
the ones
really
that are going to be like you are getting 10 picture deals,
right? And the other guys are going to do like 3 or 4.
You're going to be locked in.
Yeah, the other guys are going to do like 3. They're not going to make an animated movie of everybody.
I'd be Batman forever, but you have other. Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't be Batman forever.
Oh, no nipples for you.
Thank you, sir.
Brett's not here to yell at me for saying nipples.
Yeah, he's not. But
sorry, Brett.
The point I make with that is, you have
yeah.
actors who many times the best example is Daniel Craig. Wanted to immediately get into this role, wanted to be 007, then immediately hated it.
Yeah,
and
you run into that problem.
Constant. It was will he, won't he? Is this the end of his run? Are we going to have another? And he ended up with 5 films. And it's like
you got to figure out though. Like, I mean, sometimes that works. Sometimes they muscle through like that, and sometimes you end up getting like where there's not a good fit. Something like a War Machine where they recast. You know, and they can do that. You know, and it's not always pretty, but sometimes it happens.
That worked well. That was a good one. That worked
we
out
got to move on because we got lots of stuff going on.
All
right, so here we go. So some of the things that dropped. We're going to start. I'm going to try and start with like the lesser known, kind of less personal things, and then we'll move in. I've got one to end on that. Hopefully,
excellent.
And I've got one to make you angry too.
Excellent.
I know it'll make you angry. All right, first one, Gods and Monsters. Right. So we'll start with a monsters thing.
Yes.
He announced a animated HBO Max, most likely, TV show surrounding Creature Commandos.
Ooh.
Which involves pretty much the only person we know is Weasel. Weasel is coming back, and he's going to be in that. But it's got like Bride of Frankenstein. It's got all these crazy characters. They're really colorful. They're really beautiful looking. Like they look wonderful. And it's going to be a very kind of irreverent special ops team made out of monsters. So that's coming in. I mean, any what do you think? You want to see more Weasel?
I want to see more Weasel the way that he was depicted in
I'm sure he will be.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I would say sure he will be. I'll put it this way.
You sat me next to a dog? The werewolf?
I put it this way.
Go ahead, Harry. You go ahead.
I'm not disinterested.
Sure.
I just am glad that he understands that this is not an A-rated actor, a.k.a. because it's not an actor in general.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I'm glad that they're not wasting the time and money to make an actual live-action Weasel and team up.
Yeah.
Because like if you make a cartoon and it flops, like no big deal, right? But if you make a whole blockbuster movie with CGI and motion capture and all those, every single one of them has to be motion capture.
This is. Here's what I'm
DC
processing
animation
with
is legit though.
It is. This is low risk, high reward.
Exactly.
This choice Low risk, high reward.
Bottom branch.
You can get people
really,
really excited about it. If you do it really
Right.
well, if you knock it out the park,
Yeah.
you are going to get people flocking for how crazy and ridiculous it is.
Right.
You know
You'll
what,
get
and
merch
you'll get-
deals.
Yes,
yeah.
it'll be
is
out of control.
Push.
This is
But
the
if
mature.
it, like you said, Harry, it flops, you're not gonna
This-
burn anybody on
MBD.
this.
This is the DC mature version of the Baby Groot shorts.
Yeah.
And like
It's
what
like
if sort of.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
gonna love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Harley
It doesn't
Quinn
really
show.
care.
And the Harley
Well,
Quinn
that's
TV
adult.
show.
Well, no, but so is this. Like Creature Commanders is going to be.
No,
adult.
I know. I'm saying like you said like
I'm saying
adult version. I'm saying Harley Quinn is adult.
I'm saying
yeah,
it falls in line
It's
with
similar.
that.
Similar
Yeah,
idea.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Harley
And
Quinn
people
show
love-
freaking kicked off.
But that's
man.
what I'm
People love
saying.
it.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
A lot of
People
people like it,
love the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah,
This could
yeah,
fall in that similar line of like when the Harley Quinn show came out, I couldn't have cared less if it did well. Like,
100%.
like-
but it's a fun ride.
but it's a fun ride,
Right.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
what you could get out of this as well. So
And I think that's
I
what
don't
he's going
hate it.
for.
I think people could really grab onto it. Low
Yeah,
risk,
yeah.
high reward.
All right, what do you want? Another creature, another like monster, or a god?
No, let's alternate. Give me a god.
All right, so they've been. So he announced a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of left field things, but in the midst of it, he announced Trinity. So they are within the first few years bringing in a Trinity aspect of the big three for DC, and one of them, being a god, is Wonder Woman.
Yes.
But they are doing it as a TV show based as a prequel. We're not sure how old Wonder Woman's going to be in it, but it takes place on Themyscira. And what the way he pitches it is, think of Game of Thrones epic taking place on Themyscira with the gods and the monsters and the Amazonians. So it's going to be like a mini series.
So,
What do you think?
live action.
Yes, live action.
That's what the Paradise.
Lost. Paradise Lost, maybe.
Paradise
yeah.
Lost.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know how I feel about this one.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is that sounds great.
Right.
It sounds great. However, not knowing how old Wonder Woman is, knowing that they are going to be doing Trinity.
Well,
Trinity.
It takes part before Diana's born.
I'm not sure if it's before she's born or if she's little or if it's, because she's like hundreds of years old.
So let me
because
put
of
it
it,
that way.
that's a game changer. If
That
it's
is-
before,
yeah.
That's
then
what I'm saying.
once again, that could be a flop.
That could very well be a flop because if you don't have Wonder Woman somehow involved in this,
Right.
unless,
Well, that's fine though.
Hear me out. Here, hold on.
The events in Paradise Lost is
Go ahead.
supposed to take place before Diana's birth.
Okay.
So I actually kind of like that because he's setting up the worlds of the
It's
Trinity.
them taking all the information from Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman without Gal Gadot.
Here's the challenge.
Yeah.
Here's the challenge. I'm going to put it to you right now.
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
What version of Wonder Woman are we going to deal with?
What you mean, like New 52 classic?
No,
What
no.
do you
I mean, is she actually born of Zeus?
Oh yeah, probably.
Or is she just
is she crafted from
Is
clay?
she crafted from clay?
And the reason I ask,
Well, yeah, that's why I said New 52. Zeus is the New 52, isn't it?
right, and so
New gods, old gods. Yeah.
are we introducing new gods, old gods?
I would
Or are
I would
we?
say it's
I would assume it's probably going
New
to be
gods, old gods.
because he's calling it gods and monsters.
a lot of old ones are
if we are going New 52,
Right.
and we are going basically that this arc would have Zeus play into it somehow
Right.
with the queen,
Right.
her mother, and that interplay leading up to her birth.
Her birth, yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
I'm interested.
That'd be pretty sick.
However, if that isn't the arc,
right.
if it is just
Right.
politics
Just
of
Amazons.
Themyscira,
Yeah.
Right. And
Amazons,
Amazon
and,
women running around killing things.
and then she's
Yeah.
crafted out of
Which is
clay.
kind of cool. Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't.
bust for me.
I don't
And
think
But
so.
it's gonna be the New 52
It
because
has to
a
be.
lot of
It
it
has to
you'll
be.
just wait. But some of the other things are mostly driven from the New 52
Okay.
era.
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
they're doing this like we're gonna pull from both sides, then this
Yeah,
is
I
gonna
don't-
be a complete
then
flop.
I'm interested
Yeah, I
because
think it's going
Zeus
to be
has
the
to
god.
be involved.
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
And
It's
if
gotta
you're
be.
calling it gods and monsters,
It's gotta be.
then it's got to be that. And so
Yeah.
I'm interested. I here's the thing. anybody can say, and it's the popular thing to say right now, it's Game of Thrones-esque.
Sure,
It's
of course.
Game of Thrones adjacent.
But what does that
like,
mean?
What does that mean?
Well, I think it's the new. It's like the Lord of the Rings, because that's what
Right.
that's what they used to say about
Exactly.
every fantasy movie that came out. They were like, oh, it's just like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I agree with
I think
you.
that's just the new, because it's Game of Thrones is Lord of the Rings with sex, like pretty much. You know, it's like adult Lord of the Rings, and so it's like
More dragons too.
Yeah, now that Lord of the Rings isn't
dragons and
adult,
nudity.
So
it's like, I think that's what they're kind of. I think that's probably why they're saying it. It's just trying to give people a framework of what doesn't it like an adult fantasy. Like eventually, it could have been. You know, it could be like into like Witcher, like that kind of stuff, where it's that realm.
DCEU, their storyline of Wonder Woman.
What?
Hold on,
my mouth.
The initial storyline of Wonder Woman, was really awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
They only talked about it. They did some flashbacks.
Right,
it was pretty cool to see that. That is something unlike Andor, where it's like I look at that and hear that, and I'm like, I want to hear more about that.
Well, and we saw, and I know you hate this, but it's part of it. We saw in the Zack Snyder Justice League, we saw Zeus in the fight, and we saw there was that, and we want to see
there,
that.
and you're like,
I want to see that.
Ooh, I want more of that.
Lightning fingers.
Yep. So I'm interested in it, but
too.
it has to be Zeus storyline. It cannot be.
It has to be centered around the
politics
gods.
of Themyscira.
Center around the gods and Amazon ladies.
Yep. Because otherwise, it's just.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Interested.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So that's a god, or it's gods. All right, Monster. They are going to be releasing a hard R horror Swamp Thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what we wanted for the TV show that never.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
that got canceled before it even aired.
The TV show.
Well, we got a trailer. That's about it, right?
No, we got a first episode.
Season. It was most of the first season.
It was most of the first season.
Yeah.
Right.
And it did some good things.
I never even got to watch it.
It did. It
some good
actually.
things.
Is it still on anything?
HBO Max.
I was gonna say probably.
Maybe.
They're
I'm not
dropping
even
it.
sure.
I have
I'm
HBO
not
Max.
even
Or actually, thank you, Victoria. I have
Check
her
it.
HBO Max.
Check it.
Yeah, it was in the right direction.
It
It just didn't get the support it needed, and I think the old DC.
You're 100% right.
I think the old DC execs were scared to do this hard R stuff.
You're exactly right.
And we saw James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I was just watching part of Suicide Squad today. I was watching the Harley Quinn escape where she just like blows everybody apart and freaking like cuts the dude's throat and his head kind of like hangs off and like the flap. Like he's not afraid to do the hard R.
So
and that's what DC needs right now.
I actually love Swamp Thing.
Me too.
I love Swamp Thing as a character.
Cool.
He is so cool, but he is also gruesome.
Yeah,
right. And not just how he looks, but how he acts. So for those of you who don't know Swamp Thing, he is protector of the green.
Yeah.
And so the green is, people just view it as like vegetation. It's not just that.
No.
Like it is so much more. It is this embodiment of life, of the earth. And
in current comic runs, it's been creating like deities out of the characters. Like it turned Poison Ivy into like a goddess. Like she had like god powers from it. So.
So Swamp Thing is incredibly powerful, and people don't realize how powerful he is. I think they started going in the right direction with the original TV show. Swamp Thing, from what I remember, looked great.
It looked great. Yeah,
he looked awesome.
And
the problem was that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is people thought it was gross, and then it was like,
that's what it should be, though.
No. But listen, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Hollywood execs are like, are we literally watching something gross? Cancel it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to want to watch something gross.
I want to watch
it. What are you talking about?
Unless it's getting killed. Not as main character.
I want to watch it.
If it's going to get destroyed, that's okay.
Yes, but I'm like, I want to watch that. That is what I want to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. They canceled Swamp Thing, that TV show, before it even aired. Never had a chance.
Yeah.
And
it was the chick from Gotham.
It's disappointing.
Who was his love interest in it.
But I am very glad to hear it has to be R.
Yeah, man.
Gotta be R. Because Swamp Thing, the way that Swamp Thing kills people.
Oh my goodness, it's nasty.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
oh my gosh. We haven't seen.
It's like Alien. It's like Alien with plants.
We haven't seen, I don't think, anything the way that he takes people out.
Skin pods, man.
Like
inside them, and they bubble and they pop out your
It's one of those situations where it's like,
division.
you don't mess with the earth.
Nah,
Like with Swamp Thing's present, you are in trouble. And like, I mean, to the extent of like, you're killed for like a rapper dropped on the ground,
right,
like
littering.
not scared, littering.
It's like those TikTok videos of like where you're
Gotham.
like when you're in Gotham, like, man, it's cold outside. You're like, you know what? Let me just burn some of this trash on the ground. It's like it's like Batman in the background. It's like,
do you think we could get a really like nasty Swamp Thing versus Solomon Grundy?
Ooh,
that'd be a killer Titan battle.
When we talk about Swamp Thing, we need to have Kyle on. Kyle is is an expert on my brother-in-law.
We're reserving you, Kyle.
Reserved Kyle for Swamp Thing. He loves it, and he's dug in a ton on Swamp Thing.
Great. I want
especially
more
New 52. Especially New 52. He has, I'm pretty sure, almost the entire comic run, if not all of it.
Sick. I want more of it. As soon as I heard
I'm all for it.
I was like,
here, I want to kind of go back. I like the way that I was starting this out of like.
You liked your own thing? No, that's not
I know. How about it?
You've done better.
Risk and reward. Okay, risk and reward. I think Swamp Thing.
Right, yes.
I think Swamp Thing is a high risk, high reward.
Yeah, 100. I think they're going. I agree. I think they're going. I think they don't know it. I think James Gunn knows it.
Yeah,
but the fans are going to come out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
right? They're going to come out of it all, and they're going to make this thing soar, because I think there's a lot of people that want to see this. That the execs don't think they're there, but they're there.
Yeah, and so to go back to the Wonder Woman prequel.
Yeah, right.
I think that is high risk, low reward. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. Realistically, it could end up. I'm always optimistic.
I'm saying it's one of those ones. Like, do we really need it? Is the question.
I think
we really need it?
It's a unique way to introduce Themyscira and Wonder Woman that's never been done before in live action.
Yes, which makes it...
It's a big risk.
It's a high risk, low reward. Right. Because you're introducing a character that you have to have. Right. You have to have this character. You can't mess this up.
Right.
And you're introducing in a risky way. So it's high risk, low reward, whereas Swamp Thing is high risk, high reward.
I think you're right, though. If it goes New 52 route, and like the series ends with her conception, like with Wonder Woman coming into the world, that'd be freaking sick.
Especially,
yeah. All right. Another god.
Hit me again.
So, Supergirl movie announced.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, was it a show or is it a movie, Harry? I can't remember. Can you look it up? It is based off of. So it's actually really neat.
What Supergirl we talking here?
So James Gunn is drawing a really cool parallel between his Superman that he's introducing, which we already. It's a movie. That's what I thought. Which we've already. He's already said is going to be very optimistic and bubbly and kind of like just full of hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's pinning it against his Supergirl movie, which is based off the comic run Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which follows because obviously Supergirl is Kara, right? Kara is Kara is older than Kal-El.
Yep.
But she's younger than him because she was already born. She was older when Krypton exploded.
Yes.
And then she was cryogenically frozen and eventually made to Earth after Kal-El was old, was grown up.
Yes.
So she ends up being younger, even though she's technically older.
Yes.
But apparently this movie is going to take place during parts of her survival in like the wreckage of Krypton and how that formed her as this kind of hardened Kryptonian before she gets sent to Earth.
Ooh.
So like
I like the contrast.
Sick.
So I really like the contrast.
Yeah.
And Supergirl to this day has yet to get a fair shake in terms of
the TV show did pretty good.
But that's not
fan base wise.
Yeah. That's not.
But it did the bubbly. It just was Superman as a girl. It was bubbly.
Exactly.
Bubbly reporter, secret identity.
So that's not her. So for people who don't know, Kara is stronger than Clark.
Yeah.
She is. Supergirl is actually stronger than Superman.
Yo, you remember that Apocalypse cartoon, the TV movie, or the cartoon movie, where she freaking fights Darkseid and becomes like he like enslaves her, and she has to break. Freaking amazing, man. That's what got me into Supergirl.
You know what's funny about you saying that is she has been basically enslaved multiple times by multiple extreme powerful human beings. I say that because one of my favorite comic runs is The Dark Knight Returns. In The Dark Knight Returns 3, she is then basically enslaved, corrupted, mind controlled, but like manipulated by the Kryptonian survivors who come to Earth. And so she is more powerful than Superman.
Yeah. Oh, it's just untapped.
Exactly.
Like he's had more time to develop it being on Earth.
Yeah.
But she freaking hits the scene and she's as powerful as him. Like, she's freaking crazy.
I like the dark side that her actually seeing Krypton, knowing maybe like its downfall, why, how that happens, and then having to deal with that because she's older when it happens, having those core memories and having that shape her when it comes to Earth, contrasting with you're saying light and bubbly. So we'll talk about Superman then, I'm sure, but that contrast between the two is going to be really, really good because it's basically the core of their relationship in most of the comics. Because he's constantly having to have to he's constantly having to have to instill hope and humanity into her.
He has to hold her back, control her anger because he's more quote unquote mature because he's less hardened and jaded.
And she many times doesn't understand why they don't just rule humanity. She oftentimes battles with that.
So cool, man. It's gonna be. What do you think, Harry? What do you think about Supergirl?
To be honest, I don't have much knowledge of Supergirl herself.
But I mean, of that concept, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for it. I'm all for having righted the wrongs or righted characters. You know what I mean? So like, if you bring a character in that like either has never gotten pulled from the shadows.
Well, wait. You like to correct comics? You're on this podcast and you like to correct comics?
I do sometimes.
That's not...
Every now and then.
I never knew this. I never knew
But the problem with that is that I think if they do it in a way where they can incorporate Superman also... And not just have her do her solo thing. I mean, do her solo thing primarily, right? Absolutely.
Well, she'll eventually come to Earth, and then that's where they're going to get the blows.
But that's the thing is, it's like, how long is that going to take?
I would assume after the first movie, it'll probably end with her.
What are they going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to do like a movie and then a TV show afterwards? If they were smart, they would do that.
Oh yeah, what if they did? What if they did a movie? The movie ends like the stinger is her being woken up by Kal-El, right? And then the TV show is the two of them dealing with Darkseid coming for her. Yeah. Like that'd be super fun.
Cool. But that is the thing.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot they can do.
I'm all for like origin stories and doing it right. Yeah. And like obviously she's a huge character. Like she's not like a no name, obviously. Right. But like some of the ones that we're hearing now. But like I'm also for that. Like that's what makes DC so great is because of the depth that it has that characters and like fans have and have passion for those characters that like you say to a fair weather Marvel fan, as we always say, like, I don't know who that is. That just looks kind of like Iron Man. And you're like, what? That's, you know, the engineer. Or, well, we haven't gotten there yet. But, all these other, like, types of people that are just not mainstream. So I'm all for, like, bringing them to the light. But they have to do them well to do that.
So
and they can't compromise.
To your point, though, you know, this is very different than how the MCU approached this. Okay.
Yes.
So who would you say is the most obscure MCU character that we mainstream MCU character?
Well, but wait. I would
probably like Doctor Strange, right?
No, Guardians would be more.
Can I curtail that question though?
More obscure.
Go ahead.
I want to Phase 1. Because think about this. This is Phase 1 of DCU.
Thor,
and he's throwing all this out there already.
Right.
Whereas,
man, maybe.
Whereas phase 1 of MCU, I mean, they were setting core characters, characters that they knew everybody knew, like, and everybody could get.
And they started with all movies,
and
shows weren't a thing.
There wasn't a thing for that.
This is setting a lot of characters in motion away.
And what's helping them is that they have HBO Max as a backbone to be able to play these shows.
If the MCU,
I think they're going to try to capitalize on that, which is good for them.
If the
they
MCU,
should because Disney Plus didn't exist.
I was gonna say, if the MCU had Disney Plus when they started, they probably would have done something similar.
Absolutely.
But it hadn't been.
They didn't have it.
And that's what I'm saying is that DC has that advantage where the groundwork has already been laid. Like, fans are already expecting this, so they can just capitalize and like make, and fans are going to take.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're going to watch friggin' all of it. It's gonna be great. All right.
Yep. Next, we're on Monster. We're on a Monster.
Do you want Monster or do you want maybe being angry at something?
Oh, give me an angry. I haven't been angry.
Take a little break.
Yeah, I need. This has all been good so far.
I don't know if you'll be angry at this or not, but it makes me a little concerned. But I trust James Gunn. But it makes me a little concerned.
I don't trust anyone.
Well, you're not going to trust him even more now. Maybe.
What now?
So he came out and said that during all of this and during the press conferences and things like that, he believes that. So the Flash movie is still happening. Wait! It gets better.
This is so simple.
Didn't even get to finish it. I didn't get to the good part.
Can it?
Now listen.
Wait for it.
So James Gunn said that he believes the Flash movie is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Boom.
I mean, we haven't seen it yet, so it could be.
You want to start on a horrible note?
Well, I don't know.
Jeez.
Apparently, he says
I have zero. Listen,
zero faith in him now.
It's not that I have zero.
Okay.
No respect. Actually, just disrespect.
So apparently,
disrespect. I'm so
Zack Snyder
angry by that.
tag team
Apparently
with
he-
James Gunn in the street with Logan
apparently he
and
says,
his karate friends.
Apparently, he says that the Flash movie, the way that they've like reshot it and like made it the way it is, it effectively wipes the entire DCU, which is good. That's what we want. That's what we want it to do.
Sure.
But he said, like, as a standalone movie, because that's what it pretty much is. He said wipes everything. He says it's one of the best superhero movies he's ever seen.
So I think I'm going to pass out with how angry I am.
Good thing you're sitting down.
They canceled everyone else. Everyone else.
They canceled a lot of things.
They
canned it.
Yeah, they canceled a lot of things.
Batman.
This needs to
Forever.
die.
Batman?
Well, like all the shows, like the
the TV show.
This needs to
the
die.
new Batman animated series.
Batman
the
Beyond, the
movie
animated
needs to
series,
not
all of them.
come out.
Yeah.
I don't care
Titans, they canceled.
anymore about
did cancel
anything
Doom Patrol.
else.
God.
I don't.
We're going to keep Aquaman, The Flash, and Shazam.
What are we thinking here?
They're not So I understand.
I'm sorry, yes. They are allowing Aquaman to finish out. They're allowing Shazam
to finish
but
out.
also maybe keeping him.
Yeah, they might keep Zachary Levi, which I wouldn't be mad about. He's fine.
But this, we all know, even everyone listening to this, we all know, and we're going to say, Fury of the Gods is going to be hot garbage.
Probably. The first movie was great.
Dude.
All right.
Yes, I agree. The first one is.
I recomposed
You ready?
myself.
All right, let's get back to good stuff.
No. I need a comment on this. All right.
Do we really, though? Why don't we say go to the last video we had?
Yeah,
because we are running. We are on time.
I'm just one comment.
One comment. Go ahead.
One comment.
You have 17 characters.
It's actually.
You can't do that.
It's negligent for them to keep this.
You're already past
as a part of it.
You're already over 17. Yeah. I would say
honestly negligent. You are ending something. Kill it, let it die, move on.
The only defense I can see, and I don't agree with it, because I agree with you. I think it should be just gone.
Yeah.
The only defense I can see is there were hundreds of thousands of people that worked on the DCU, and this is a good way to just kind of stop it and wipe it and let it be finished.
Yeah, I look at it this way. I agree. I think it should not be done, but I look at it the same way. They're allowing Aquaman to finish out. They're allowing Shazam to finish out or do whatever the heck he's doing.
Right.
Nothing else has been done. This actually, Flash is already done before Aquaman,
it was supposed to be out like 2 years ago.
Shazam and the Flash were about the same.
So
But
just to be clear,
yeah, you're
this
saying
movie is everyone who worked on things participation trophy.
Yeah. Also, I look at it this way.
Okay.
Think about this.
Just let's be clear.
At the end of the day, how many times has WB and DC and everyone in there made decisions solely because of money and they didn't want to lose money or do things like that?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
They made dumb decisions because of money.
I don't like this.
Yeah, 100%.
And here's the reason. Just everyone involved with the DCEU messed up.
Yeah, 100%.
You got an F. You failed.
Yeah.
You don't get
go home.
You go home.
Yeah. But
you don't get to be a part of this going forward. I'm sorry.
No, they don't. They're gonna be gone. Yeah.
You messed up.
You know what this is gonna be though?
Bad.
This is gonna be great content for us.
I don't care to honor people.
Really
They're
good
like,
for us.
oh man, I feel really bad for. No, you messed up. You messed up and ruined all of the DCEU. You don't get a participation trophy.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Well, it'd be really funny if we went and saw this and we're all just like, that was the best movie ever.
That was the best movie ever.
If that,
I mean, even if it's a good movie, well, who cares?
Yeah,
I'll be blown away. Great,
I would be.
It's a good movie.
All right, let's
all right,
we got to move on.
We're moving on.
Still doesn't matter.
We're gonna talk about.
We're angry too.
We're gonna talk about 3 more things.
Okay,
3 more main things. All right. Next one, this is under monsters.
Yeah. I thought we were on gods.
No, because we should Supergirl. Supergirl was a
Yep, you're right. Yep.
They're making a TV show about, again, the rumors it's going to be a hard R about Amanda Waller.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
It's Viola Davis, so she's going to be freaking fantastic.
I like it less.
Really? I liked her as Amanda Waller.
I think she's a fantastic Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
I think she's perfect casting for Amanda Waller.
So
Are we not moving on?
Well,
because
so the preference is
Homelander. Peacemaker.
Yeah,
he still has season 2,
James
and they're also doing another series that we're not talking about yet.
So James Gunn's
with involving
stuff
them
is essentially now DCU canon.
So James Suicide
Gunn's
Squad,
stuff.
the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are considered DCU canon.
So the only one who actually survived DCEU
is Amanda Waller.
And potentially then potentially Harley Quinn.
Sure, it could be Margot Robbie, which would be great. We love Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
But
yeah, well, but
it's Lady Gaga.
No, she's well, that's in the different universe.
I know.
But
I don't like this one.
I don't like it. It's I'm not super thrilled about it either, but it's picking up right after the end of the Peacemaker TV show because she ends up going on the run at the end of that TV show. So it just picks up after that.
How many TV shows do we need to make about somebody on the run?
All of them.
I mean, that's like pretty much any show out there right now.
Yeah, you got to get your cardio in.
I'm not a fan of this one.
No, I'm not either.
I don't think it's gonna. You know what I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like
then if you tell me that,
it's probably gonna be a setup for things.
What were we gonna say, Harry? Sorry,
I'm just saying. I think it's gonna be like a comparison. Even though I think that this one that we've had before is gonna be way better, but like Captain America, Winter Soldier kind of show. Yeah, and it's not like super expanding on the plot. We could have guessed what happened, but it's also like it's a good show.
Or like maybe like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So let me ask
you. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this. Harry, why do you like Amanda Waller?
Like Viola Davis?
Viola Davis?
Or just the character?
The character. Why do you like the character Amanda Waller?
I never said I did.
No.
Why do people like Amanda Waller?
Let me rephrase this. Why do people...
What's the draw for Amanda Waller?
What is the draw for Amanda Waller?
She gives no craps. She's kind of someone that reins it in a little bit.
No, you're missing the point. Go ahead.
Nobody cares.
Task Force X.
Right.
The draw is who she commands.
It's the Suicide Squad.
It's not her.
Yeah.
It's not her. Commands.
It's not her.
And her cutthroat nature towards them. But
you failed. You failed.
Should I go home now?
You don't need to.
Me and the Flash. Me and Ezra Miller.
You and Ezra Miller.
Harry,
don't actually. I'm not going to say that.
But
Can you bleep that part out?
Yeah, cut that.
What, you and Ezra Miller are going home together?
Stop it.
So my point
in no parts is that happening.
So my point being,
I'd rather die on the street. You can keep that back in.
My point being,
yeah,
she is not a draw.
Yeah.
No.
by herself.
But
you have
she
Amanda
might be with
Waller.
other
they
people.
need a simple, easy filler show somewhere in this
Right.
whole entire DCU, and that's it.
That is
Because
that
all
is-
this other stuff is like quote unquote
Right,
groundbreaking
right.
and new and flashy, and that's just like crap. What do we put in between Thanksgiving
You know
and
what?
Christmas?
She's
Yeah, but this is what I'm going to say.
she's
This
the
is high risk, low reward.
yeah.
I
She's,
I agree.
get nothing
are
from
they
this.
are they trying to build her as like a Nick Fury of evil people? Maybe I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I love my man Samuel L.
Me too.
This is a bold statement,
Oh no,
ahead.
he's gonna say
but
ahead.
her as a character in this universe, I like her more than Nick
Than Nick
Fury,
Fury?
in.
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Wow.
Wow.
Nick
I
Fury's good in the
Wow.
comics. I think he's a lot better in the comics. It has nothing to do with
he's great in the
Samuel
comics.
Jackson as a character.
Samuel Jackson,
Or
please,
person.
Please don't come and kill our
I
friend.
mean, he can come fight me.
Watch that door.
What you say? Yeah.
Actually,
but
he's not coming
listen,
through the
I'm
door.
just
He's coming through
Come
the
to
wall.
the wall.
the brick one, not
no,
the,
yeah,
not the
right behind you.
Yeah.
His hand
How
is-
did you get? It's underground.
I dug, mother.
Yeah. My thing is that they really put the kitty gloves back on Nick Fury at the end of the MCU.
Yes,
Yes,
and I'm
sure.
hoping
And that is what killed him.
I'm hoping Secret War or Secret Invasion changes.
All
that.
they did was make him funny. That's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
They
Captain-
made Samuel
Captain Marvel.
Jackson's character Samuel Jackson's personality.
Right.
Captain Marvel with the flashback and
Yeah.
everything when he's young.
Yeah.
Hopefully Secret Invasion will rectify
It's a
that.
good-
He was like
really
a
good one.
BA, like
Yeah.
gave no craps,
when-
kicked
when-
indoors, all
when
this
he
stuff.
when he picks up his patch and he's like,
Yeah.
you gotta get both eyes on the, and he like scans his
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Anyway.
so Greg,
All right,
I
we got
hadn't
two more
thought of it from that lens.
of being a Nick Fury for
of
bad guys.
If that is the case,
Yeah.
I think there is some
Yeah.
merit to it.
Could be.
I
Yeah.
still don't like it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not excited about it.
she's the type of character that helps you remind yourself, like, wow, there's a normal human that's just
Yeah,
stressed
human
the heck
element.
out all
Yeah.
the time because she's got to wrangle in these like rabid kittens that are on fire with tasers.
I just
Oh, I love taser kittens.
the reality though, I do want to.
Inferno tasers.
Viola
Inferno
Davis.
taser kids.
Viola Davis is phenomenal.
Yeah, she's a freaking
Yeah.
amazing
She
actor.
and
I think she's
her
great in this.
portrayal of her
Yeah.
of Amanda Waller,
Cutthroat.
phenomenal. So I don't
Well,
have a problem with her carrying over,
yeah.
but I just if this isn't what you're saying,
Yeah.
I don't see the point.
Well, and we'll see what ensemble they surround her with in the show. We don't
Right.
really know what they're gonna. They
But
could
that's what
surround her with
matters.
some cool people.
But that's what matters.
Yeah. All right. Two more main ones. We just did monsters, so gods. They are making an Authority
Yes.
movie.
This is where I'm excited.
Okay.
The Authority, which is pretty much was it Wildstorm, right? Wildstorm
Yeah.
Comics.
Yep.
It's an offshoot of DC. It's pretty much their version of the Justice League Avengers, but they're freaking messed up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of like the boys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they actually have a sense of justice. They actually are the good guys, but
Yeah.
they're
Right.
rough and tumble. It's like it's a Midnighter and
It's like a hodgepodge of just
freaking crazy cool
Yeah.
characters.
you have Apollo, you have the
Apollo,
engineer,
the
you
engineer,
have Swift,
Midnighter.
you have Midnighter, Jenny,
Yeah,
Sparks.
It's going to be super cool.
Yeah,
Well, the thing-
I'm for this.
They're going to
I'm
be
for this
intense,
100%.
too. They're probably going to be an R rating as well.
Especially
You know what's the perfect
especially
comparison? Real
during-
quick.
Go ahead.
Watchmen, like the Watchmen
Yes.
group.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Very similar
Yeah.
to Alan
Yeah.
Moore's take on superheroes, where they're very human.
I think right now, especially with the popularity of the boys and
Yeah, it's going to work.
some of these, this is the time to do something like that. I think
And
that'll
they're
go,
new.
I think that'll go over really,
Right.
really
They're the
well.
earliest
They're
comic
new.
they had was like
Yeah.
80.
Yeah. Yeah,
Though that is another
I can look it
They're
up.
new.
Well, let me look it up.
Yeah, look up. They're new to people too.
for me. That is another low risk, high reward.
But they
Yes.
did get rebranded, and obviously in the new 52. But
Yeah.
and a lot changed. But
yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Low risk, high reward.
First appearance, Volume 1, May 1999.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. So they're
So and the new
they're
52
new.
era, they were only like 10 years old.
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't know them.
Yeah.
And it's like at this point, man, the DC, even though they haven't, but it feels like the DC has failed so many times with with the same characters.
Same ones.
And so now it's like, this is a,
Bring 'em in.
this is a breath of fresh air, man.
Yeah.
Bring 'em in.
DC has so many wonderful characters that like nobody knows about.
Harry,
Let's get people to know 'em.
why are you so excited about this one,
Yeah,
Because I think they're gonna do I think they're gonna do a better version of what like the Eternals tried to do.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because it's not just all quasi gods. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
not all just like these celestial beings that like
Right.
are
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
destiny formed with the blah blah blah. Yeah, whatever.
Sorry,
So
I'm sorry. You almost
Yeah,
put
you
me to
lost me
sleep.
there.
Yeah, you almost put me to sleep.
what are we talking about?
That was a movie?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like
Yeah.
I think it's that because nowadays The Boys is like a hit. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna try to do that. I think they're gonna do like a Watchmen-esque type. So I think they're gonna like and what do we know about DC and HBO? They have no problem going. Obviously, they're doing
going all out.
as I've never heard anyone else use in that way. But the hard R versions of these things. So
Listen, the number of R-rated
Can you
shows and TV and movies is I'm for this.
Can you
But
the
they-
guy who played Icarus?
yeah,
I think he'd make a good Midnighter. The guy who played Icarus.
I can see it. But the thing with this is with the New 52, what's exciting is that Midnighter is like closely associated with the Bat family.
Yes, yes.
So,
yes, yes,
which I'm
yes.
about because he's super dark and he's super like whatever. He's almost like
Shoot, you could do a whole
Yo, you do so much.
you could do a whole phase on just the Bat family.
yeah. Well, that's the thing
Whole phase on
is that
just the
they're
Bat
thinking because of the Brave and Bold series coming up, they're gonna have a whole Bat family.
That's the last one.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so the last one.
Hold on, I'm not done with the Authority.
Okay, go back to the Authority.
Yes.
Hold that.
But the one thing, yeah.
Now you gave him a stroke, man. You couldn't have waited. You gotta give him a friggin' full on. He's gonna have.
Surprise.
He's having a
Samuel
Batman
Jackson.
baby right now.
I know.
Where are the stirrups? Get his. Hold on, just hold that. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Breathe
the
in,
Authority.
breathe in.
Breathe.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
All right, go on.
So the one thing that they're doing though is they're also, I think they're cutting characters. So like the Doctor and Jenny Quantum or whoever the other one was.
Yeah.
There's one other. There's like two
think
characters
There's
getting
only
cut.
like 5 they're gonna.
Yeah,
do.
they're doing Jack Hawksthorne or whatever. They got. This is the one that I'm like, why?
Yeah.
He's a character who like lives off of a city's energy and like what they're feeling and like
It's a pretty
he could
dope,
tap
pretty
into
cool.
people's like
it's a pretty dope
emotions.
power.
So like I mean, if
That's
you're
a pretty dope
interrogating this
power.
person, like you can see like oh they're telling the truth or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's just like if that's all you can do, it's kind of like lame.
Yeah, but they might expand
whatever.
that.
Yeah. But like the biggest one is Apollo, who's pretty much a
Apollo.
Superman.
Yep. And Midnighter, who's pretty much
Midnighter,
Batman.
which is his husband.
Yep.
They're together.
Yeah. Apollo and Midnighter are. Yeah.
Jenny Sparks, she's like sort of celestial being. She can't die. She's whatever, but she has like electrical powers, which is cool. And let's see who else. Oh, the engineer, who's pretty much a cyborg,
Right.
but that person, that's a nanotechnology. I don't know what you want to call it, like creator, whatever. One of the universe's engineers who created a nanotechnology, like formed inside this woman and is now the engineer. And so it's like that. Like I think it's gonna be
cool,
a
man.
cooler, darker-esque twist, more grungy version of like a Justice League and like Eternal. So
Yeah.
I think with doing that, and then also what we just talked about, which we will talk about now, is tapping into the Brave and the Bold.
All right.
So Harry, I heard nothing after you said the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
don't worry. You just go back and listen to the episode later.
Mhm.
Once
Brave
you
and the
calm
Bold.
down.
I think the two heaviest hitters are going to be
Brave and the
the
Bold.
Brave and the Bold, and probably the one or the Supergirl.
Brave,
Yes, right.
Brave and the Bold.
So okay, so the last thing we're talking
Really, the
about.
two heaviest hitters are the Brave and the Bold.
Yep.
So the last thing we're talking about doesn't really fit into. He's
Sweet Lord.
He's pretty much God and monster.
Sweet Lord.
So the new Batman is going to be. So we theorized in the last episode. We theorized that the Batman could be a little bit further down the road. Didn't necessarily have to be a younger Batman. And it looks like that's the case they're going because it's Batman the Brave and the Bold is the Batman movie. They're introducing a Robin. and it's Damian.
Yeah, I was gonna say guess which one, but
so in other words, Batman has to be old enough to have dealt with Ra's, to have a relationship with Talia, to give birth to his son, and have him as an assassin. So he's gonna be the child assassin, and the best part is that James Gunn then said, this is our step into expanding the entire Bat family.
Oh my gosh.
Which means we have the opportunity for Jason Todd. We have the opportunity for Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Batgirl. We have the opportunity for all those things to come into play. But we're starting with the son of the demon.
Arkham Knight. Heck. You can get Arkham Knight.
Oh my word.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I think I'm having a heart attack.
That's the Batman run he's going with.
I'm so excited about this.
But guess what? We're getting new everyone, so
yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
that doesn't make any sense because we're gonna have a story. But this is part that, like, as a Batman fan, I'm like, what are you doing? Because so we're gonna have a young Supergirl. We're gonna have a young
unborn
Batman, or I'm sorry, a young
Superman.
Superman.
No, Wonder Woman is I thought what you were going with.
Yeah. Okay. A young
Unborn.
Superman. A young one. Or, a young Supergirl. An unborn Diana.
Well,
Swamp Thing.
But we don't know when the Themyscira takes place. If it's a prequel, it could just be
like the timeline. This is what the timeline looks like. Yeah. Charlie Day's picture of. She's like, the mail.
Yeah.
That's the timeline.
Right. You're right.
But not even, because we can have
like 37 years ago, but actually 1 year ago when we premiered this episode on Swamp Thing.
We can have
here's the Brave and the Bold. What?
We can have a 25-year-old Clark, right, with a 35-year-old Bruce, and
35-year-old. That's not old enough.
No,
40-year-old Bruce, right?
45.
40. No, well, so you have to remember.
So Damian's only like,
hold on.
Damian's only like, what,
15?
This is new 52.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
You have to know the timeline for Batman.
Right.
Batman, I'm gonna round up. Okay, so round
it up.
Yep.
Batman Bruce Wayne disappears at 20.
Correct. Right.
He returns at 30.
Okay.
Right. Batman
give or take 2 years. Yeah.
Give or take 2 years. Batman's career does not start until he is 30.
Right.
He knows before he is 30 the demon head.
Right.
Yes.
He is trained
with Ra's
by the League of Assassins.
Yeah.
Okay. So they could do a storyline where Talia and him come together.
Right.
Let me just do this on camera.
It's called Bat Love.
Right, but have a child then
and then
his training time, 25.
And then he comes back to Gotham, has no idea the child exists. Right.
You're talking
40. Yeah. Be 15.
He's a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, and then
that would be the only timeline.
Yeah, but
and the Themyscira
that lines up with comics.
The Themyscira
they're saying he's 10 years old. Damian's 10 years old.
Okay, so 35,
even
35, 40. Yeah, 35, 40.
So then the Themyscira TV show is a super prequel.
How do you have a Robin? How do you have three Robins? How do you have three Robins within 30 to 35?
Well, but if you look at...
Even if you said 28, we're stretching it.
Yeah, 30 to 40. So
you can't fit that in.
So he's 30, right? No, you're right.
He'd have to be like 45.
Because let me put it this way.
He'd have to be like 45.
How would Dick Grayson be Nightwing and establish as Nightwing?
Yes.
He'd have to be 45.
He has to be 45.
I agree with you.
Or they just remove Tim Drake. I mean, we don't need that guy. 2 Robins.
You do need him.
Well,
you do need him as a filler.
As Red Robin.
The problem is actually not what you're saying. The problem is not Bruce's age. The problem is Damian's age.
I don't...
But listen.
But also...
The issue is... How do you make even 2 Robins? Let's say Tim Drake is out of it, hypothetically.
Sure.
Right.
Like you have to do Jason.
You have to.
You have to do Jason.
Red Hood's got to come in.
You have to do Damian.
Yeah.
So how do you go through 2 Robins in 10 years?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It's got to be like 40. He's got to be like 45.
Yeah, 40, 45.
Even 40 is like not even going to make it.
Not going to make it.
Unless
I think you're right, Harry.
Unless he just pulls the time frame back a little bit, like and makes him go back to
we
Gotham
could
at
do
25.
again. He no longer has the child with Talia when he was in training, but after training.
Sure, yeah, he could.
Right.
There's you could explore that storyline
There's
then
lots of-
instead.
yeah.
Which is technically
There's that approach,
when
which is the correct
the
storyline.
correct timeline,
That is
yes.
the correct
Right,
timeline.
because it wasn't until he was brought back and tried to become the successor of the Demon Head that he ended up.
Crowned, identified as the
Right.
successor to
which is
to Raish.
why he fathered the child, or why they got him to father.
Well, his whole point was to take out Batman.
Right. Damien's goal was to grow
To prove himself.
Yes.
up, assassinate his father, and become the Demon Head.
I agree
10 years old
with
is good,
your
though.
other. So that is a messy timeline.
Yeah,
Batman
could be.
itself
And
is a
I'm just
messy
going to be honest
timeline.
right here. I don't think they have people that would be able to work that out.
I agree with you.
And but
That's why
honest-
they need
yeah.
us.
Listen up.
Hire us.
On top of that,
We're
I
cheap.
agree with you that
Chick-fil-A, that's it.
all of this,
I'll do a little more.
Yakos.
all of this
I'll just
is
take
a
the
messy
money.
timeline. All of this
I don't.
Yes.
is messy.
I don't think so though, because
I'm not Greg. You're missing what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm
You mean
not
the Batman
saying it's no, all of it. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Sure, it's just. Tough.
I'm saying somebody needs to really be on top of
yeah.
connecting these storylines and watching their timeline. James Gunn
You know what it is. You know what it
needs
is.
to be the one.
No.
What?
It's Peter.
Oh, is it?
It's got to be Peter.
Why?
Because what else is he doing?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
James Gunn is the
He's
see,
vision
here,
casting, and Peter's
he's
got to be
you.
the one.
James
Yeah.
Gunn is you. You just spout these things and
Yep.
you're like, make it happen, and somebody makes it happen.
That's true.
So James Gunn is just spouting these things, and Peter's writing everything down.
Right.
And Peter's making flow charts. And
Somebody
Peter's got
has
his
to be in
glasses
charge
on,
of the sacred
pushing
timeline.
me.
It's true.
and he's-
Somebody has to do
he's-
that.
Yeah, Peter is he who remained.
Yes, somebody's got to
That's
be in
what we're
charge
hoping.
of that secret time.
That's what we're hoping.
Sacred timeline.
I'm just, that is,
that is crucial.
if we're going off of what how we've been establishing each and every one of these shows, TV shows. I'm sorry,
the risk.
Is it the
Yeah.
end of the weekend?
It is.
I'm just saying this is a high risk, but also high reward.
High risk, high
High
reward.
risk, high reward. But it
Don't
has,
mess it up.
It has
Don't mess it up.
It has such freaking great potential.
But the one
Here's
thing
my-
they have going for them
Yeah.
is that number one is the DC is 100% ultimately carried on the character of Batman,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and has been for
He puts it on his back.
yeah. His back
Boom.
is sore as crap.
move.
Yes.
But the thing that they have going for
Look at all
them
those
is that
scars.
they didn't make the stupid mistake like they said that they didn't make this decision, but they came together as Henry Cavill and James Gunn both decided that they were going to walk away from each other. Not
Sure.
that Henry Cavill, that's another thing that got announced, that Henry Cavill didn't get fired. He decided not to come, and they never gave him a contract anyway.
Right, he
so
was
it's
never,
like,
he was never.
what does that
hired.
mean exactly?
That means he
Well,
got fired.
That
Well,
means
it
they
was
pretty
that
much
he-
said, don't come back.
Right.
It was James Gunn came out and said there was never a formal contract for Man of Steel
So
2.
technically, you can't get fired
And
if
so
you
he
never
didn't-
got
he was
asked
never,
back.
Yeah, he was never actually rehired. Like they just never hired him.
They pretty much just gave him a cameo and want to mess with us for Black Adam.
Right.
They were
But
just
to
trying
get back
save
to
their butts
right.
for making a movie that didn't
But
work.
to get back to my point is that because of how much weight Batman carries and throws around,
so much.
they're keeping Pattinson because they realize,
Yeah.
wow, Matt Reeves is doing a real good job. So if we really screw up with any of this, we can still make money with Matt Reeves.
Other
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
Good news. It's just been announced. October 2025 is when Batman 2 comes out.
A long time,
We got 2 years.
but I'm okay with it.
We got 2 years, but that's because Matt Reeves wants
So long.
Matt Reeves wants to do it
The
right.
first one that was 2019,
Yeah.
and it came
I'm
out
gonna
in
be
2020.
1,000 years
Two?
old.
Matt Reeves wants to do it right, though.
I'm going to be 1,000 years old.
In Matt
100%.
Reeves, we trust. I'm just saying.
Matt
Yeah,
Reeves,
it's
we
true.
trust.
Just
All
saying.
right,
Wait,
we got to wrap this up.
Last point.
We
We're
gotta-
doing the
yeah.
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
But hold
You
up.
have to remember.
I don't know why they're calling it the Brave and Bold.
I'm not sure either, but we'll find
They
out.
should be calling it Batman and Robin.
Here's
Because you know me, I collect Brave and the Bold
Yeah,
comics.
but
Can
but
you let me finish? 'Cause
you
this
know
is
the-
exactly what I'm talking
No.
about.
you know the connotation of Batman and Robin. Nipples. Now you know how it feels.
I was going to say, go ahead. I was going to say, how does this feel? How does this feel?
Fair point.
This is exactly what
Fair point.
Every night.
Fair point.
Go ahead, though. Make your last point.
Go ahead.
You know who else is going to definitely be in this then?
The Batman movie?
Brave and the Bold.
Let me guess. Hugo.
No, Raish.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, probably,
Talia?
but who we haven't talked about yet.
Alfred.
Okay.
The Batmobile.
Talking about Joker?
Green Arrow.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, he could be.
So?
No, not he could be. If this is the Brave and the Bold,
Yeah.
think about.
It's not, though.
But
They're
it
just
is.
calling it that.
Well, but
No,
that's
but
not
it
true
is.
because James Gunn did say he's taking inspiration from the Brave and the Bold comics.
But
So-
which Brave and the Bold?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm telling you.
New 52 or original Brave and the Bold?
Who is the second most appeared person in
Right.
the Brave and the Bold?
Black Cat.
No, it's
I'm kidding.
it's Green Arrow.
The Metal Men.
Do you think
Okay.
they're going to get Stephen Amell?
No, they won't.
Oh, but I want Stephen.
No, I know you want him, but it won't be. But Green Arrow's going to be in this.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm okay with that.
Because
Steven.
you have to
love
remember
Stephen.
the Brave
He's
and the
good.
Bold.
He was good for the first like 3 seasons.
The Brave and the Bold is not just about Batman. It's
Yeah,
about
right,
his allies. It's about his partners.
Yeah, and it could
And
be.
the number one person who shows up in the
Is
Brave and the
Green Arrow,
Bold
yeah.
is Green Arrow outside of Batman and Robin.
I'm
Are
okay
you
with that,
sure
though.
about that?
95.
I'm okay with that, though.
I would say a
I'll take
runner-up
Green
is
Arrow.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
a
but
runner-up is
I
Aquaman.
still think Arrow is more.
Probably one of the biggest ones that is not with him a lot. Superman.
Right.
Superman's been
Agreed.
like
Right,
3.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's world's finest. We're not
don't
going that way.
have anything on Aquaman.
Sergeant Rock. That's who it is.
Oh, I love
Agent
Sergeant
Stone.
Rock.
Agent Stone.
I love Sergeant Rock.
Two
I was being legit
characters.
Sergeant Rock.
Two characters who are big, who we have not heard anything on.
Aquaman,
Aquaman,
Devilman.
and Green Arrow.
Oh.
Green Arrow. Yeah.
And
they're-
so why do a Brave and the Bold if you're
Can
not
they do
going
scuba
to bring
Nazis?
others in?
Oh,
That would be sick.
well, so there
Well, I don't know.
there is some slight rumors out there that Jason Momoa will continue to be Aquaman.
MoMA?
There is, and I honestly I wouldn't.
I'm
be
okay
super
with
mad
that.
At that. I think he'd be fun.
I know that you guys had
But-
talked about before there being excitement around potential
Lobo.
for Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
there was.
I either
Which would
or.
be great.
I'm
Either
good
one.
with either.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Oh, one more really cool
that.
thing.
I know what you're going.
And it goes to what you were talking about this before we started this, and it was really funny because you're gonna know why it's funny.
Why?
None of you are gonna know because you weren't in our private conversation, but you'll find it funny.
What?
So they're also doing a Booster Gold TV show,
Yeah, buddy.
and the strong rumored casting is Chris Pratt.
Oh, come on. You gotta have him guess.
way!
You have to have him guess.
The reason why I said that was because before we started this, before you got
I
here,
said the
he was
best
he was like,
character.
the best casting for that. They're probably not going to do it, but the best casting would be Chris Pratt. And I'm just
Chris
sitting there
Pratt
like,
would be perfect casting for
Yeah.
Booster Gold.
Yeah, he'd do it
It's
100%.
literally just a
just
janitor
Star-Lord.
from the future who steals a bunch of stuff because
Yeah.
he wants to be a superhero in the
yeah.
past.
And James
Can't say we wouldn't do it.
Fantastic.
And James Gunn has said he wants to bring a lot
Chris
of those guys
Pratt.
over.
Chris Pratt would
And
be
Chris-
phenomenal.
Chris Pratt
the
is
ideal
done.
casting.
He's done Star-Lord, so come on over.
Vin
Done,
Diesel.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Vin Diesel.
What if Vin Diesel actually becomes like a superhero?
No, what if Vin Diesel was Booster Gold's little robot dude?
Yo! Little gold robot?
Little gold robot,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
It's just his voice.
I'm
All right.
dead.
All right, guys.
I'm dead.
So much.
I'm alive again.
If we missed things, drop it in the comics.
I'm
If
sure we
you-
did.
if you hate the
We did
things
miss
we
one
said,
thing.
Too much
Drop it
stuff.
in the comments.
Yeah.
If you love the things we said, drop it in the comments. Just talk to us. We're lonely.
If you know what we missed, say it because I know what it is, but we're not going to talk about it because it's not that important.
Oh, and we've been going for a freaking
An
long
hour and
time.
15 minutes.
Yeah, well, we can talk. So guys, don't forget, like and subscribe, hit that bell down below. Come back here for all the latest episodes and all the latest comic news
do it.
as we
Go
are
Birds.
here, the Legion of Comic Correction.
Go
all your
Birds.
DC stuff.
Go
Woo!
Birds.
We'll catch you guys next time in the Legion of Comic Correction.
Peace.